small event where, like a reception, as a part of celebration of this ongoing process for the whole year. And he was kind enough to invite members of the delWine Club to the event at his residence, and a lot of us were there and we really enjoyed it. And I wanted to find a way to reciprocate. So I thought this was the best way of doing it. And in this whole process, Lake Forest joined us. Neeraj Sajjeva is the owner of Lake Forest, by the way. And Sherry is the country head. And so I know her a little more than you. So I was able to convince her to work with us on today's event. And so we could get very good quality wine. And so we have 5 wines today. Prosecco, Trebbiano, then we have Gavi di Gavi, we have Valpolicella Superiore, Aceto. I'll talk a little bit about them a little later, and then Brunello di Montalcino, the kind of wines you salivate to have. So the other thing that happened, which some of you know, some of you don't know, that 3 months ago I was talking, I come meet this guy, he's a good friend. Where is Pratik? Pratik is right here. He's head of the restaurant, he's part owner, and then you have met this guy, Priyam. I call him Picasso, because he's an artist, he designs pictures in a beautiful way. So they told me that the Italian Prime Minister, Angeloni, was here in this restaurant, thanks to Alessandro, I think. You are the one who brought it here, yeah? So he said, I want to go to this restaurant, and came here for lunch. So it was an excellent lunch, I believe. And so I told these guys, I said, listen, I want to have a dinner where I want to have exactly the same menu as the Prime Minister had. So what we have today is the same menu. Okay, the menu has only the lamb in the main course, but if you don't like the lamb, I told them we'll cheat a little bit and give them chicken or something, So they're willing to do that. We're taking care. Thank you very much. But knowing the Indians that we are, we eat a lot more than Italian wine. Listen, let's add some aperitif or snacks to it. So he made a list out and made like 10 snacks with the original menu. I said, we'll go crazy eating the snacks. So we cut it down first to 6 and 8, and then I said, no, let's cut it down to 6 because you will enjoy the main meal also. So therefore we added those 6 snacks as such. So before I proceed with the wine, may I request Ambassador Angeloni to come and say a few words.
The first dish has been outstanding. I think spectacular dishes.
I come on stage with a glass.
Always.
I think it's
and
really
it's Italian wine.
With Italian wine. And I want to thank you, Mr. Subhash, first of all, for inviting me here. As you remembered, I have to say that this place now is somehow in my heart because of the presence in this room of our Prime Minister. This was a very special, for an ambassador of the Prime Minister is quite, I wouldn't say normal job, but it's part of the job. But this visit was a very special visit for us, a very important visit. And that day was the first day of the visit, and we were sitting here in this part, and I had a very important conversation with the Prime Minister, so preparing the visit the day after. So for me, it's a very good moment. And thank you very much for
working lunch.
The second reason is I want to thank Subhash for his untiring activity promoting Italian wines. I'm amazed to know that this is the 285th event that you organize. I'm not surprised that, and you should all know, I'm not surprised that Subhash received an important award years back from our President of the Republic, exactly for this reason, for his activity promoting Italian wines. And I have also to say that I appreciate the way the wine club that you founded, the way that you present Italian wines. So it's not only a bottle, So you present Italian wines also related to food, which is something I think is really key for enjoying better wine. I always remember many years back, I was deputy head of mission in Algiers, and I was invited at the French embassy. The guest of honor was Monsieur Gérard Depardieu. I think you all know this great actor.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So I was admiring him very much because I mean he's a great actor. So I approached the guy.
You love wine.
Yeah.
You got winery there in Bordeaux.
I approached the guy. The guy was there because he was starting some activities in the vineyard close to the region of Oran. So I approached him. I told Mr. Depardieu, I'm very happy to meet you. I'm a great admirer of you because your interpretation in Novecento, blah blah blah. I started making some compliments, but because I really intended to. The guy cut short on the compliments. He said, yeah, you know, here we can do a beautiful wine. I'm sure that this production in Orano will be great. And you know what I feel, you know what I wish I could share with my friends here. I said, what? To tell them and to feel them. The pleasure I feel when I bite a piece of Rebauchon, which is French, and I sip a glass of Chateau Margaux. He said, this is a divine pleasure, no? And he looked at me, I was of course very much agreeing with him. He looked at me and said, you talk good Italian? I said, yes, I'm Italian. He said, but you guys, you should know something about that. Now we should work for that, we should work together. So the guy was so enthusiastic that he was really spending all the time of the conversation on the pleasure of sharing or pairing food with wine. So, and I can say, yes, Gérard, we know something about that. And that's why I'm really very, very grateful to Subhash, because Subhash is really going in this direction. He's really trying to place wine in a cultural wider spectrum and, well, enjoy the dinner and enjoy the wines. Thank you.
Thank you. May I also request Neeraj to say a few words about the wine?
I have my glass empty. Shake. Thank you, Subhash. Thank you, Ambassador. Sweet. I don't even. It's a pleasure being part of the wine club, delWine Club. I've always heard a lot about the delWine Club, but never had the privilege to join the delWine Club. And I see so many faces which are familiar. We meet in other places. So, Subhash, thank you. So, last 3-4 years, we've started importing some amazing wines, and we have an amazing portfolio, especially from Italy now. Ambassador, you should be able to see all our Italian wines. We will bring them to you, Subhash, and you can show it to them. And we have 4 of our top line, 1 white and 3 reds. Yeah. Gavi di Gavi, anyone talk about it? No, please. No. Go ahead. Come and talk about it. So we have a young sommelier team who basically helps me to import the best products from Italy, France, everywhere. But this Bosio, Gavi di Gavi, go ahead.
So we won't take a lot of your time, but I'd just like to tell you that you'll be tasting a couple of wines today. You'll be tasting 4 wines in total. You'll be tasting the Trebbiano that you've probably already tasted. You're tasting the Gavi the Gavi. So the Gavi comes from the region of Gavi, which is in... so the Gavi is a commune itself, and the grape which is used inside the Gavi is a Cortesi the Gavi. You may have heard of Cortesi the Gavi, and there is another region and another wine called the Gavi, and then there is another wine called Gavi the Gavi. So we import a Gavi, and we also import a Gavi the Gavi. And this is a fantastic wine. You'll get a lot of citrus, you'll get a lot of a lot of flowery aromas, and I'm sure that the pairing is done really, really well, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the wine.
And a very subtle taste, nothing which will blow your face like a Chardonnay would. So if you guys haven't had a Gavi di Gavi, you would really enjoy, especially for a climate like this.
Also, it happens to be one of the most expensive white wines available.
Yeah. So, but this is a good value. Can I have the next bottle, please?
Before, when he brings the bottle, let me tell you about the Prosecco, which is not from them, but it's I think it's a best kept secret of Indian Prosecco, Italian Prosecco in India, because it is made by a company called Mionetto in Valdovia Dene. We've had Prosecco many times before. We always start with Prosecco. But it is the highest selling Prosecco in the United States for many years. So they are really pushing it over there. I've been to the winery, and the owner, the old man, 10 years ago I met him, so passionate that he used to have a section where women used to use threading the top to the old method of keeping the bottle from exploding. So he was that passionate. So wherever I've seen passion in Italy, or for that matter anywhere else in the world, that's what brings more quality to the wines, more culture to the wine.
Absolutely.
So that is what is really required, and I think a lot of our members are as enthusiastic as yeah.
So let's talk about the first red wine we have, which is Valpolicella Ripasso. And a lot of you have had Amarone. We call Valpolicella a poor man's Amarone. People who can't afford
No, baby Amarone.
baby
right?
Amarone, but I say a poor man's Amarone. Amarone is a very expensive bottle of wine, and especially in India with all the tax structure. But Valpolicella made out of three very nice grapes, Malvasia Nero, Corvina, Cortina. And then they are put in strong mats for 18 months. So they get a very raisiny. When you let the grapes dry for 18 months, you get a very raisiny taste to it. So you get a lot of raisin when you taste that. Talk more about it? That's it?
Cover it all.
Subhash, you want to talk more about it?
I just want to say one thing. He said, poor man, I don't know, we Indians are poor anyway. I really believe that if you love Amarone, you should always drink Valpolicella Ripasso, because the process is such that
Beautiful.
when you make the Valpolicella, you roll over the must from Amarone. So they do it continuously, and it makes it fuller on the flavor, and texture is bigger, and the alcohol is less.
Yeah.
This must be about 13.5%, 14%.
Amarone is high.
Amarone is 16.5%. So you're drinking 16.5% every day is a bit too much. But this wine you can have with the same food, and this can be drunk younger. See, our people in India, goes up in the air, they want to drink Amarone, but they don't know that Amarone has to be kept at least for 5-6 years. It takes time to mature. Whereas this you can drink after 2-3 years. So you can drink it younger, drink it cheaper, drink it nicer. Why the hell should you have to have Amarone?
And this is one of the finest Valpolicella you'll find in India. There's not many Valpolicella imported to India, unfortunately. But this is one of the finest Valpolicella you'll ever taste in India. Final, the big boss, the top dog, Brunello di Montepulciano.
Montecchino.
Montecchino. 100% Sangiovese? 100% Sangiovese? Go ahead.
Grape is called Brunello, but it's Sangiovese.
So this is 100% Sangiovese. This one is aged 3 years in our barrels, and then it goes 2 years into the cellar for more aging. The name of the brand is Fondo, and they're one of our premium products, and this is a very expensive wine. And you would agree with me when you taste the wine, because it's got a very superior kind of taste. It's got a lot of darker fruits, a lot of tertiary characters
Mouthful,
as well.
total mouthful.
So, and it's got its bit of spices, it's got its bit of it's meaty, and it's very, very nice. So I'm sure you love this wine as well. And this
will go perfectly with the lamb and the vegetarian dish. But if you don't like lamb and you're ordering chicken, a couple of you maybe, it will not be as good. But we're talking about food and wine pairing. So chef and I, we talked about it, and the dish has been made in creamy sauces, so that it will pair pretty well with Brunello also. So you can try.
Does this need to be decanted now?
It should be decanted.
decanted.
It should be decanted.
It's very young right now.
1 hour or so.
Very, very young.
We'll probably open it now. We'll open it now.
Thank you, Subhash.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for encouraging Lake Forest to present your wine. Thank you, Pastor.